Hey there, and welcome back to the most endurance-y sim racing channel. Last time, we delved into the new Racin USA update to Automobilista 2. After some quick driving at Laguna Seca and Long Beach, I mentioned that I would leave the real good stuff for next time. That time is now upon us. We'll be testing the AI, time of day, and weather change in AMS2 through a simulated 24 hours of Daytona race at 60 times time compression. The grid will consist of prototypes, GTEs, GT3s, and even a group of GT4s I threw in for good measure. Since 24 minutes usually isn't enough time to really get some good lapping action going on, the GT4s should let us experience what it's like to run into some traffic during an endurance race. This video is already set to be fairly long on account of the race itself, so I won't waffle on for too long. Just enough to let you know to subscribe for future sim racing content, instruction, and reviews. Alright, 24 hours of Daytona, finally starting. I can't wait to do this. I've been wanting to do this in R-Factor for so long, but hey, no Daytona quite yet, right? So here we are in a mixed grid, DPI, P1, GTE, GT3, and just to make things a little more fun and interesting for us, GT4s as well, just so we have something to lap. So I've jacked up the AI, they're about 110 out of 120. I have no idea whether that's fast or not by AMS2 standards, but I'm just going to do my best to keep up and watch these cars shoot flames out the front of me. Whoa, that progressive grip loss. Always very engaging in AMS. Whether or not it's realistic, you know, jury's out, but I mean, it's always very fun to drive. As we get dived on the inside, we've got all the moves happening. I'm doing this lap for all the guys that accuse me of torpedoing and driving too aggressively right off the bat, especially against AI. Just taking it nice and easy. Nice cruisy lap as the sun goes down. Of course, 60 times time compression. I expect this to look a mite more impressive in the Madness engine than it does in R-Factors. As we get a bit of the toad here, you can see we've set up heavy rubber. Just turn the lights on. I feel like I'm going to need them sooner rather than later. And if only 14-year-old me could see how far we've come playing Daytona USA in the arcades back in 96, or, well, I would have been a mite younger in 96, but still, this is definitely a slightly superior experience to what we used to get in the arcades. The fact you could actually have the full sim rig at home would have been unbelievable for us back then. A direct-driven one, no less. As we start to make it to the front of the GTE field, can you guys tell that I've knocked off some downforce on this car? Now I'm coming in very fast, got to get on the brakes very early. Doing my best Antonio Garcia impression through here, taking the inside. Yes, I think we still have the Porsche to the right there. He's holding his line. Good for him. I think he's got the inside. He's gonna make the move. I'm gonna see. No, we've got another guy diving on the inside here. Very, very aggressive AI here in AMS land, and oh, look at those God rays. The Madness engine again showing us why it's the king of immersion. To anybody who saw Jimmer's original 24-hour time compressed race here in Project Cars 2, I dare say it's probably a mite more engaging and perhaps even realistic. Oh god. But Jimmer is of course too busy doing this in the real world now. I seem to have set the AI to a point where they're actually providing a challenge this time, which is kind of nice. That nice, gorgeous purple hue in the sky there as the sun goes down, and I have nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. All this slipstream and nowhere to go. Oh, what the? Wow, that was, okay. All right, cool. Bit of an AMS AI moment. Okay. As you can see, still some work to be done in this title. was definitely the biggest caveat of AMS2 was the AI, and still seems to potentially be the case. I'm going to try and make our way back up using this very, very low downforce setup here. Now, talking about the track itself, I can't say I have many reference points in sim racing for Daytona, having never driven it very much, but I absolutely love this track. As you can see, the time of day shift. I'll go into first gear, see if that helps at all. You can definitely, in terms of handling, it feels like you can really pivot the car on power. And while I do enjoy that fundamentally, it seems a little easier than it should be to do. There's a certain weightiness in ACC's handling that isn't quite matched by this. Things feel just a little flimsy. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a ton better than it was, and I'm sure the improvements will continue to come. But for the time being, you're just kind of able to over-push the car at high speed into these odd little slides that still have that tinge of, and you guys are going to hate this word, but they still have that tinge of simcadeness to them. As we get to the front of the GTE pack, I think, and I forget to hit the brake. I've actually forgotten what part of the circuit I'm on here. Try not to get punted around on the inside. It's alright, we'll make it work. As you can tell, Daytona, as much as I love it as a track, I just haven't driven it nearly enough to get the consistency and the times down. That's okay. We have a full 24 minutes or more here to make that count. So go around the outside. Please don't squeeze me. Please don't squeeze me. As I'm completely trapped with nowhere to go yet again. Trying to go on the outside here. Trying to go on the outside, get on the brakes. Again, the best Garcia impression. Let's do it. Don't get squeezed out wide, Erman. I've really dialed up the force feedback quite heavily. My hands are starting to hurt already. But for some reason, that always seems to give the most engaging experience here in AMS. Nice progressive throttle. Only have one TC set on this car. Of course, no ABS on the GTEs. So I get dived on the inside again. I do like that they'll make moves. I mean, sometimes they're a little negligent with what they do. But it is good to see the AI making those moves. Alright, let's see if we can get the slipstream again. We got the C8R right behind us. It's none too happy to be stuck there. Hopefully no punterino, please. This damping force is destroying my hands. I love it. I love it. We're still locked down here in Melbourne. Can't go to the gym, so this is the next best thing I can do. Again, very aggressive, the AI through there. Oh, that very aggressive sounding 991. And this is where the low downforce setup really pays dividends for us. I'm going to see if they can get the toe. They don't seem to really get the toe as much. Either that or they're packing far higher downforce setups than I am. You can see my lines there, not really all that good. I just need more practice at Daytona. That's what's going to make this race so exciting, I think. It's the fact that I suck. So we start strong. We start with a stage record, or almost stage record, down to barely knowing how to get past the track. As you can see, I'm kind of afraid of over-pushing the car at low speed. It tends to just kind of go into one of those lumbering spins there. Good work for the Porsche. Trying to race hard but fair here. Oh no, I got pushed. I got pushed. I think I got pushed around the outside or from behind. The car just wouldn't turn. So the AI is still a little strange in their behaviors. I think they just need a little bit more sensibility tweaking, let's call it. I do like that they're racing me hard though. It's very, very, very nice to kind of be exchanging positions like this. That is definitely still the caveat of AMS2. I mean, AI has never particularly been a strong suit of sim racing, but I mean, getting punted around like bumper cars is really, while it may be a good training regimen for public lobbies, maybe not the experience you had in mind when you're trying to, you know, emulate your endurance races of old. Try and just sit back, enjoy the experience of the time of day change. The fact that I'm driving a C8R. The car I would love to have as a road car once they bring out the Z06 finally. I take the inside for once. And annoy someone else. I will say there are aspects to the grip loss that are very, very fun. When you're fighting with the car at the limit and the bumps are just kind of knocking the steering wheel around. I probably have it set a little bit too heavy to be useful, especially for online racing. But, oh, those are GT3s. So, those must be GTEs ahead of us. I must have lost a lot of positions there, unfortunately. See if I can actually find where these turns are meant to be. Right, better than last time. I didn't even realize we'd started to lap the GT3s already. I'm guessing those were just back markers, maybe mechanical damage if they simulate such things. Doing my best to catch up to the GTE field up there. And tight as they do in real life. It just feels a little, still feels a little overly bouncy and wobbly during those sections. I'd like to see AMS just get some groundedness. It's kind of weird to say this, but just a bit more of that ACC-ness. And whereas I would like to see ACC get a bit more of the AMS2-ness. They each need what the other has. As you guys can see, bit of a program weather change for us here. Got the rain kicking in. Just gonna get very, very interesting very, very soon, I think. Not really necessarily feeling it on the road just yet, but I'm sure that the rubber in line is gonna get very, very interesting before long. So the AI at 110 certainly seemed capable of racing you hard. Perhaps a little too hard, in my estimation. Trying to get more and more aggressive as we go along through there. Alright, making up some ground. One of the great things is I have no idea how long we have left on the race itself. I'm trying to see down there. I'm kind of running off my fuel more than anything else. Just trying to estimate. Might have to actually increase my TC, but I'm not sure if there's an in-car TC adjustment available yet for the button mapping. Might have to surf through the actual... Oh my god, there it is, the rain's kicking in. The rain's kicking in. Maybe I can adjust it on the straights. So I feel like I'm gonna need some TC to help me out here. AI not dealing as well with the rain as they once did, which is kind of awesome to see. We've gained a place there. Please do not rear-end me, Mr. BMW. As conservative as Sunday Mass here. Ugh. One of the great things I do love about the time model of the Madness engine is that you can kind of feel the car load up under braking. I could feel the front tires pudging there as they were hitting the undulations in the road surface. One of the very, very cool dynamic elements I've always loved about Madness Engine. Now, while it may not be perfectly dialed in, it has the hallmarks of something that can just be amazing one day. And we might have to get on the brakes a mite earlier than usual here. Oh, yeah, it's good, it's fine, don't worry about it. Now, I can't help but feel that that's one of those prototype paint jobs there. Maybe it isn't, but it looks like one. These, those GT3s? Those seem like they're GT3s. Alright. Pushing right along. I love this, guys. Technically, they'd be GTDs, GT Daytona, if we're GTEs. I've got a guy pitting already. One of the prototypes, it seems. Oh god, oh god. Oh man, we're getting nice and wet now. That's what she said. Okay, prototype's coming out. That's short end. Well. Oh man. Oh, the wetness. The wetness is real. It feels a little arcadey. I mean, if I'm on slicks and this is the wet line, it's not really, you know, your real life wet weather experience, but it's nice. It's immersive. It's kind of having the effects you would expect. That appears to be a GT4, ladies and gents. Well, I think that is a GTE up there. It's one of my peeps. I don't think it's a... Yeah, it is. It's a GTE Pro. As is that C8R. Man, I've got to get off that rubbered in line. At the very least, I'm guessing... Oh no, they've actually dried it out. They've actually dried it out. If you guys can see the reflection on the road surface, they've created a dry line there that we can actually drive on. Hopefully it's not slick. Oh, and the rubber, of course, getting quite intense. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh mate, where did you find all that grip? As the sun slowly comes up. Did not get that in Daytona USA in '96, that's for sure. This beautiful purple hues coming up for us again. Right, here we go, slipstream, catapult through. Some slingshot effects going on. Oh, that just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? This is why we call the Madness Engine the most immersive. I can just imagine this would be wonderful in VR. You guys will have to let me know down below what that's like though. I do not own a headset myself. Oh no. No. Whoa. Never ended up adjusting that TC, did I? It feels like there's a dry line going on here, so I'm just gonna try and stick to that dry line. Oh my god, so much understeer, that they don't seem subject to, like I am. It's kind of interesting. But I think the rain is going away. Yeah, that Corvette is having a very different experience through that line than me. Maybe another thing to look into there. Seems like the AI is on a bit of a different physics model. Never the most fun thing in the universe, but man, does that look nice. Hopefully as the track dries out and we get back on a more similar physics model as the AI, I can start to make up that extra ground. I do wonder how much damage we're packing currently as well. Oh, and the rain is either back or he's kicking it up for me. Either which way, that little spaceship of a car. It's like an F-22 in car form. Our road's getting progressively more dry, it would appear. You really appreciate the dry line. Oh, not completely dry though. Definitely not. Oh, definitely not there either. Seems to have lost the Corvette for some reason. There's definitely an onus for me to stick to the dry line here, guys. Very, very cool thing about the Madness Engine. The moment I deviate, my grip just gets real nasty. There's that over pushing the car past the slip angle, kind of kicking you out into a slide. Very weird. You kind of expect it to just understeer when you do that. But instead the car kind of just kicks out. Alright, come on. Got one more opponent to catch here. Beautiful glinting off the road surface there. You can just imagine what this would be like in a thunderstorm. Assuming it doesn't get red flagged, that is. Hopefully before long, rFactor 2 will get Daytona as well, now that they have all the appropriate licenses through Motorsport Games. And we can do a direct endurance racing comparison between the two titles. I think that'd be super fun. If that's something you guys want to see, do let me know down below. You guys can probably tell these are some of my most fun, personally fulfilling events to set up on the channel. Absolutely love them. I totally messed that up. I knew I was going to hit the brake late. I didn't realize how late. Come on, keep it together, Evan. Keep it together. Oh, it's so wet. It's still so wet there. Oh, no. No. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. I think it's okay. I mean, it's kind of okay. I'm actually really glad I did that, because it kind of got to show us the surface differences. Once you go over the wet tarmac, it just doesn't dry as quickly as the stuff that people are driving over. Again, one of the very, very cool aspects of the Madness engine, it had so much potential. So it's, okay, I thought it was dry out there, but I guess not. It had so much potential, the Project Cars series. It's good to see Reza finally putting that potential, putting it out there. I'm just like searching for grip out here, trying to search for the dry parts of the tarmac. I think we're safe on the rubbered in line here. Just don't go too far off the track next time, Erman. Jeez. We've got a few more laps, but I have my doubts I'm going to be able to catch up now. Whoa! Oh, man. Whoa, it gets pretty hairy. As you can tell, my lines through Daytona are in need of a bit of work. That's alright. I can finally put the practice in an AMS too. Finally have a sim that has a good version of Daytona. Feels very nice. Feels reasonably bumpy for a racetrack. Whether or not it's laser scanned or what the methodology behind it was, whether they recycled the Project Cars version, I don't know. Wow! Look at that dry line! Look at that! Did it form around the outside or inside? Oh man, I can't even tell. I can't. It's like the road surface is just dynamically changing. I love that. I love that so much because it's capturing some of the dynamism of motorsport that we just miss in the simulated realm. Everyone just assumes everything is full rubber 100% optimum all the time, and it's just not. The road surface changes. The condition of your tires changes. Come to think, I don't even know if I'm on softs or mediums. Hopefully on mediums, but probably softs actually, given the way the car's starting to drive. I'm trying to work out where the grip there is. It seems like all the cars have taken a different line, so it's just hasn't really had a chance to create anything. Getting a good race out of the AI at this level, definitely at my meager skill level at Daytona. 110 seems pretty good. I'm sure a lot higher will be necessary if I actually learn the track correctly at any point. No, no, high-speed drift, Omen. No, 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 no. And that is, admittedly, that was caused by my driving. Nice, you can kind of hear the traction loss there. The low TC. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's a way to actually adjust the in-car TC level from the wheel. If there were, I would have been adjusting it on the fly. As the conditions got more and more wet, I feel like 1 TC just isn't quite enough under the circumstances. trying to work out what's slick rubber, what's grippy rubber, what's dry track. We kind of can't tell the difference anymore, but that's one of the cool things. I mean, adverse weather driving is like that. You have to feel for the conditions on the fly, and AMS2 is now starting to feel it a bit of that. We're starting to get a bit of that dynamism. That's one thing that's always defined the Madness engine is dynamism. Whether or not it was realistic dynamism, I mean, that's a different story. But it was dynamic. I have no idea how many more. You can really feel the grip loss there. It's great. It's one of the sections of track that just hasn't quite dried up yet. Like the inside there, you can see that service lane. I'm guessing these are GT4s because I'm catching them way too quickly. Way too quickly. It's going to be interesting through this section here. Oh my god, no. Ugh. Again, entirely my own fault. I did not expect their brakes to be quite that bad. Trying to rejoin without destroying the prototypes. Alright, no one behind me. Probably because I'm the last GTE car on the field. It is something though, isn't it? Just watching the time of day change, the weather change. I guess that was a race. Well guys, alright, cool down lap it is. Well, while we cool down, we can talk about that experience. Guys, it's... In another video, I was talking about the progressive nature of updates that ACC was making over the last year, and I feel like AMS2 with Racin USA is finally starting to kind of bark up that same tree. It's not just an addition of new content, it's a tweak to the way that the GT cars feel, and it's most definitely a positive one. I would just like to see them address, one, the low speed brake behavior where the cars still have a tendency to kind of rotate on you in strange ways that are unrecoverable, and the other one where when you push past the slip limit or the slip angle limit of the tire, instead of just understeering you out, it just kind of puts you into one of these weird kind of I don't know, like mid-speed or high-speed slides. It feels like something the car shouldn't be capable of doing. But I'm sure that's something they'll target in time. If we were to compare it to ACC, of course ACC feels a lot more planted, a lot more unforgiving in its driving feel, a lot less bouncy still. And these are all just little things that need to keep getting worked through as they dial in the Madness engine to feel like more and more of a simulator rather than a, halfway simulator, as AMS2 was. And still some interesting snappy behaviors occasionally from this title. But on the whole, as you guys can see, the sun falling down progressively over that Ferris wheel there, that it's coming along. And it's turning into something far, far better than it was at release. And this is something that we love to see as sim racers. Make sure to hit that subscribe, guys. Catch up with future AMS2 content. I'll, of course, look forward to featuring it more and more as they release more packs and hopefully entrench the sim racing experience. As far as endurance racing goes, at the very least, it's extremely immersive, very dynamic, and very, very fun, I have to say. Anyway, guys, until the next one, I'll see you later.